Greetings, friends. Welcome back to our teaching series on the 5 levels of financial freedom. My name is Jerry Robinson from Follow the Money Daily, FTMDaily.com, and in our previous session we talked about the importance of food storage and we talked about some of the basics of it. Today we want to go just a bit deeper and talk about water storage. It's a bit more complicated than food storage, obviously. Water can stay and be stored for quite a long time, but it has to be out of the sun. It needs to be in a dark, cool place. And there are many different ways to store water, but as you can imagine, when you live in an urban area, say in a small apartment, you don't have a lot of room to store all of the water that you'll need. And as Jennifer will share with us in a moment, knowing how much water that you would need in the time of a crisis or in the time of a national emergency is dictated to us by the government. But we have a slightly different opinion, and Jennifer will share that with you in just a moment. There are many different ways to gather water to be stored. Obviously, there are the large barrels that are food grade that you can buy. I'm showing a picture of them right now. These are fairly expensive. Jennifer and I have been able to find them very cheaply simply by looking on Craigslist or garage sales or things like that. You can certainly save money by buying them used. Another way to store water is to simply take milk jugs or food grade containers, store them with sink water, and then you can always add bleach to them to make sure that they're staying drinkable and potable. Now what about lake water? Lake water and other types of water that are not necessarily coming out of your sink, those need to be cleaned. Those need to be purified before you can drink them, obviously. And in a few minutes, I'll show you how we actually do that. I'll show you our system that we use. If you live near a body of water, or if you live near, a water source, it can be a very good strategy for you and help you not have to fill your whole house with water storages in different containers. So anyway, I'm going to hand things over to Jennifer. She's going to explain to you how much water you should keep on hand. And after that, I'll come back and I'll show you and demonstrate our water filter and show you how we actually go about water storage at our house.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jerry. Well, I'm here to talk about how much water you should have on hand for your 3-month storage. FEMA, the Federal Agency for Emergency Preparedness, on their website, they say that you should have 1 gallon per person per day on hand. Now, people who are maybe sick or nursing mothers or children, they should probably have more on hand, according to FEMA. However, at FTM Daily, we firmly believe that having the minimum amount just to survive is not enough for us. We double the amount that FEMA claims that you should have. So we keep 2 gallons per person per day on hand. Now, for a family of 4, for 90 days, which is 3 months, if you do the math on this, that comes out to 720 gallons that you should have for your 3-month supply. That seems like a lot, 720 gallons. If you live in a smaller apartment or maybe a 2-bedroom house and you don't have a lot of yard space, this is maybe going to even sound impossible. So what you have to do is be creative. Think about things that you have around the house. You have at least 1.5 gallons, maybe 2 gallons of water in each of your toilet tanks. Not in the toilet bowl, of course, in the tank, which that is perfectly fine water. You also probably have a hot water heater. Ours at our house has 50 gallons of water in it. Now you might want to have your hot water tank cleaned and emptied out and cleaned on an annual basis to ensure that this water is going to be clean and you're able to drink this water should you need to. Also, if you have a swimming pool, whether in ground, which can have anywhere from 20,000 to 30,000 gallons of water, or an above ground pool, which can have anywhere from 5,000 to 20,000 gallons of water if you have it filled up, then you've got all of the water you need right there. So be creative and think about what you already have around the house, and then you can start working on your big food grade barrels, getting some jugs of water to store, some bottles of water, if you need to do so. Now, the other creative thing is if you have a body of water nearby, maybe a lake, a river, a stream, a pond, then you can just get yourself a nice filter and you can use the water if you have access to it. You have to ensure that you have access to this water should a crisis occur. So Jerry is going to show you how we use our water filter at our nearby lake as our drinking water source.
Thanks, Jennifer. Well, in our conclusion, I want to show you exactly how we use our Katadyn water filter here at our local water source in the event that we have an emergency. And I'll show you how easy this is. First of all, I want to really introduce you to this Katadyn water filter because even though it's expensive, what is really amazing about this water filter is that it's portable, it's lightweight, and on top of that, it provides over 13,000 gallons of drinking water, purified, which is just an immense amount, especially when you compare it to other types of water filters that provide maybe 200 gallons. This is an immense amount. Now, the price on these can be upwards of $300, but for my family and I, it makes total sense because we have this body of water near our house. Therefore, I can come down here and fill up as much drinking water as I want to with this filter. Now, one of the things that we have purchased is this Coleman water carrier. It's a 5-gallon water carrier. You can pick these up for maybe $10 at Academy or Walmart. And what they are collapsible types of water jugs. So you can see that it'll be very easy for me to come down here and to use my water filter and fill up the water container with up to 5 gallons of instant pure water and then take it back to our home, which is not too far away from this point right here. So what I want to do is I want to show you how this water filter works, and let's do that right now. Okay, so for a very quick introduction to the Katadyn water filter we've been talking about so much, it's very practical for us. Here is in essence how it works. You'll see that there at the very bottom of this filter there is a hose that comes out, and on the end it has a funny looking nozzle. This is basically a fine filter on the inside along with a larger filter on the outside to keep rocks and things from getting in. And then here you'll notice there's a little flotation device that keeps it from getting too far down into the water, maybe getting down into the dirt. So here we have this placed into a body of water, and we also have our top hose going into our container. And all we do is pump. And it takes just a few seconds, and before you know it, we're getting not lake water, but we're getting completely sterilized, pure, clean, clear water. In fact, I'm really hot out here. I'm going to go ahead and test it right now. All right, friends, well, I hope this has been very beneficial to you and an informative video for you. As we continue our 5 levels of financial freedom teaching series, we're going to move in our next session to the topic of saving money, the importance of saving money. I cannot stress how important it is. In our next session, we'll talk about the importance of creating a systematic savings plan. Until then, God bless.